Alright guys, today we are jumping into another Hogwarts video. There is plenty to do and plenty to explore. If you're a big Harry Potter nerd, you will probably recognize immediately behind me that yes, that is indeed the staircase that leads up to the headmaster's office. Of course, I don't have the password, so I can't get up there yet. But that's where I'm standing. Notwithstanding, I have put in a few more hours since the last video, mainly focusing down side quest and just learning new things about the game. Every time I jump in this, I take something new away from it. But today we are going to be starting by opening up the field guide and heading down into the quest section, and we're going to be starting by meeting Deke in the room of requirement. This quest here called the Elf, the Nabsack, and the Loom. This is related to being able to capture magical beasts, which we will learn when we go to the first magical beasts class session, which I have already done, but this is another main quest we're going to go down. So I believe that Deke is going to teach us how this beast capturing device works, so we'll be able to capture beasts that we encounter in the wild. So we are going to be starting there, so of course we can just hit Y to locate it on the map since it's already tracked. In case you were curious where it is, this little icon that sits above the astronomy tower, secret rooms, if you tap A on that, it's this top Floo powder fast travel network that directly transports you in to the room requirement. Not that it takes but 10 seconds to come from the closest fast travel point in the astronomy tower, but just so you know, you can directly fast travel there. I'm going to go ahead and pick up my fertilizer and my Dittany leaves, and I'm going to collect some mandrakes that I swapped out in this pot. I'm going to inspect, and I am going to use fertilizer on it. Boom. Okay, so now we're going to talk to Deke and commence learning how to use this knapsack. Oh, Puffskein Dunkeen, he would hate this. Okay, so now we have a new item unlocked. The knapsack is used to rescue magical beasts. Press right on the D-pad, then assign it to my spell set. Okay. So I think the spell set I will use will be this one. Let's put that on Y for now, on this spell set. Whoops, did I even select the right one? I did not, so let me go back, because I wasn't hovered over it. Make sure you're hovered over what you want to change before you pull the trigger and hit the button. Not that it takes 2 seconds to reset, but just a friendly reminder. So I'll do this. I'll set down the knapsack. Looks like we just tap the button, and in they go. That could not be any simpler if they tried. Okay, so now to rescue the Jobberknoll, which is a beast I have yet to encounter. You can see them flying around that tree. He's telling us to use Leviosa. It makes it easier. So before I try this, I'm going to adjust this spell loadout to put Levioso onto the X button. So I can cast that, then use the Y. So I'm going to move into position now. There's some on the ground. So I'm going to quickly cast Levioso. And then we'll throw out the knapsack, and just as he said, and that time it gave us 2 button inputs. It's not hold, it's just tap, so it's easy enough to do. Okay, so this one actually, and they tell us up here, which I was going to mention, he specifically said that this beast we have to capture during the night. They only gather here at night. And they tell us up in the top corner there, in order to pass time to day or night, which I will mention on another side quest, there is a definite reason to do it. On the Xbox, hit back, and you'll see the full world map. That's not where we're looking. We're looking in the bottom right. Just second to the rightmost option is, it says right there, click in the right stick to wait. If it's daytime, it will switch to nighttime. If it's nighttime, it will switch to daytime. It's as easy as that. Hit back, click in the right stick, and it'll say, hey, do you want to advance from day to night or night to day? Tap A for yes, and it will switch to the opposite time of day. This is not helpful just for capturing this specific beast we're trying to capture, but there's another quest related to the night cycle, and I will show you that next. So what I'm going to do is come up here. Let's just cast Levioso first to make it simpler. Now we're going to pull out the knapsack. X, X, X. So far, that's 3 X's, but it hasn't deviated. I wouldn't be surprised with some of the more challenging beasts. It alternates the inputs, so just pay attention, but very, very easy, guys. Okay, so it tells us to return to the room of requirement, but I don't want to do that just yet. I'm going to make one deviation because if you, as I, have yet to do this, because I haven't done this quest line, I haven't had a need for it, we're going to need a place to keep them in the room of requirement. And I know for a fact that's going to be by going to the Hogsmeade map and visiting our friend over here at Tomes and Scrolls. So I'm going to set a quick waypoint, and we're going to quick fast travel because he sells the pens for the beasts. Spellcrafts. Okay, Beast Feeder Spellcraft. Beast Toy Box Spellcraft. So that's 2. Let's see if there's anything else related to beasts. Bunch of potting tables, potions tables. Nope, just these 2, so I'm going to purchase that. I'm going to purchase that. So now I can just say jump back to Hogwarts map. Deke is going to meet us back there. So now we can utilize the direct to the room of requirement that I showed you earlier. It's this little icon up top. Click A, hover over there, tap X. Straight to the room of requirement where Deke is going to be waiting for us. I'm going to update this spellcraft to Conjuring. Let's put that back on. We'll swap out Levioso. Alright, so first I've got to open the Beast Management menu. We've got to unload all the beasts from the knapsack, so they call this the Vivarium. Or Vivarium. So we'll let all of them out, and then we'll be able to conjure stuff to keep them happy. So we otherwise would have had to go back to Hogsmeade, I'm sure, but I already knew this was coming because I saw it as a purchase option when I was in that shop the other day. This is actually perfect because I know for a fact that this is going to be related to finally applying traits to our gear because I purchased some from vendors, but I couldn't figure out how to actually use it yet. So I'm guessing we had to do this quest line first. May as well just grab some quick Moonstone. Speaking of which, I'll show you a little trick in the room requirement. But the first thing I want to do is conjure some stuff for them. So now I can say a large beast feeder. Let's say select, and let's just put a feeder over here by the river. That's a pretty cool looking place. We'll keep spinning it. Get it into position right at the edge. Looks like that's as far as I can go. So let's just conjure that. So now we have a feeder for the beasts. Back it up. Now we're going to put a toy box for them. We'll put that on an angle right on the edge next to it. We'll back up, and a breeding pen that's locked. Okay, yeah, so a lot of cool stuff on this side menu as well. Obviously, there's a lot to learn that we can unlock, but I think for the time being, we ought to be in good shape. I can interact, beast care, feed and brush the beast. That's how we get magical materials. And it tells us about it so we can hide the menu. So let's just open up. So we'll say A. We're going to brush it. Now we can collect a feather. Let's feed it. And of course we have a timer. So let's do the same to all of the beasts here. Okay. So yeah, and we can see it has different timers on everything. Now we'll go back, we'll speak to Deke. So let's find the Loom in here. It's not potions, it's probably utility, I'm guessing. Nope, that's refiner. Ah, there we go. Enchanted Loom. blue, of course, Ravenclaw blue. I wouldn't have it any other way. So let's just put that, let's rotate it. Yep, we'll set it right there. Perfect. Okay. Go ahead and pick up my fertilizer. Now we're going to interact with the loom. Okay. Gear features. One primary offense or defense stat by default. Yep. Magical materials can be used with the loom to add and upgrade a secondary stat or apply traits to your gear. Multiple small upgrades can yield a meaningful boost in combat power. True. Newbies can be rescued at beast ends or unlocked in quests. New trait recipes can be collected in bandit camps. So this adds just an entirely new layer of depth to a lot of the stuff we've already been doing. So let's just hold down A and see if we can figure out how this works. So I've got, that's level 26, 25, 25, 25, 20, 22. Okay, that's my highest spec piece of gear. I've already got increased damage with Spelliarmus, and it says trait slot level 3. So let's just say view traits. Here's all of the ones I've discovered. Wow. Defendo I use a lot. That would be helpful. Decreased damage is always nice. So what if I said, how about we increase damage with Defendo? Hold down A to weave the trait. There we go. Easy as that. And it looks like you can only have one trait on a piece at a time. So upgrade gear, and we can upgrade it because we have some feathers. Ah, so there it tiers it up. Wow. That is a massive increase, guys. So this is going to be huge. This is going to be huge. Not only another side thing that we can do, but wow, the benefits of doing it are quite large. I mean, that's a really, really big jump in power just for running down the side here. So now if I check out my gear and I hover over here, that was the level 25 piece of gear. Nope, level 26 right here. I mean, I'm up to 1390 health, 213 defense, 210 offense. You know, it's throwing me in additional points because this is a defense-based piece of gear. And with that one little upgrade slot, I now have +6 on offense. And it looks like the next step went up to like 18 or something like that. So that's huge. That's huge. So yeah, there's a lot to do. Every corner you turn in this game, there's something more to do. Now let's just talk to Deke and finish off this quest. Okay, so that's good to know. You can't upgrade pieces of, I guess, lower spec gear. Though I've played enough that I'm pretty much wearing an entire legendary set, so that's no problem. That finishes that quest, but yeah, hugely useful, guys. What I wanted to show you, I need to get back onto this spell crafting side. What is this? Nope, it's this one right here, Evanesco, the vanishing spell. So, in the room of requirement, you'll see all these things that hover over. If you equip Evanesco and use it on all of these items that are already in the room by default, this is the result. Moonstone. It's a free Moonstone source. As many as you want to cast. Of course, this is found all over as you're adventuring, but if you're running short, this is a quick way that you can get Moonstone for free. All of the things that are in this room you can turn into Moonstone just by using Evanesco. So, quick little quality of life hack there for you guys. Hopefully that is going to be of some use. Alright guys, a quick cut. There's a few little final things that I have discovered that I wanted to show you today. The first of those is once you learn Alohomora, this is how the lock picking works. Now, I've got it up to tier 2. I believe it goes up to tier 3. But you walk up to a locked Here, you can find them on the map. They will glow blue. You tap X to unlock, and it's not a spell you have to equip. It's one of those utilities that pops up when you need it. So basically, you're going to move your two thumbsticks until they start vibrating. And when they're both vibrating, you hold them in that position. It will unlock the lock. It's as simple as that. So the left stick is this green. The right stick is that red in the middle. The color and what that is insignificant. Just push it out in any direction and start rotating the stick. You'll feel it vibrate. And you'll also notice the wheels down there in the bottom right hand corner start turning and have the green dots. So you hold that stick in place. Then you do the same thing with the right stick. And the wheels inside spin and it vibrates and boom, that's it. You just hold it till it makes a rotation and it unlocks the locks. Very easy unlock mechanic in this game. Now the next thing I want to show you, it could take me a minute to find, but we're going to utilize this skipping time. I want it to be night because I want to show you another purpose of the night and waiting to quickly skip is you'll see my active quest in the bottom left says return Demiguise Moons to Gladwin. He is the Hogwarts keeper in this game. These things will show up in a blue highlight when you're near them. And a quick tip for you, if you're in any part of the map, anywhere in Hogwarts, and you hit back on your Xbox controller, up in the top right, it will give you a list of collectibles. Demiguise Statues is one of the ones it shows you. These are things you have to collect to turn into the Hogwarts Keeper to unlock more powerful tiers of Alohomora. There are 10 total in Hogwarts. I have only collected 1 so far, and these can only be picked up at night, which is why that quick skip to night is so hugely powerful. So effectively, you just turn at night wherever you happen to be, and then you can start exploring and using Revelio to try to locate them. Okay, and the other thing I can tell you is I have also discovered in this game, if you're hunting for collectibles of any kind, let alone these Demiguise statues, having it switched to night makes it immeasurably easier to see stuff, because it's way easier to see the blue glows when it's dark versus light. There's one in here. Okay, and I can open that lock. That item right there, that's what we're looking for. That's behind this locked door, so I'm going to unlock it real quick, just like I showed you a second ago. Hold the spot. Lock is opened. And this is what they look like. These are the Demiguise statues, the Demiguise moons. You can only collect them at night. Walk up, tap X, and that's what you turn into the groundskeeper. And I think you grab them in like stacks of 10 to turn back into them. And for every 10, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there that you find, you just return back to the groundskeeper, and he will give you an upgraded version of Alohomora. Right there, Faculty Tower, fast travel point. That's where the Hogwarts Groundkeeper is going to be to turn these back in. He's always going to be there while this quest is active. At least he's been there every single time, so I'm about to discover if that is yet again true. It is. I can see him standing right here with that white marker. Mr. Moon?
Oh, greetings. Any luck removing some more of those Demiguise statues?
So I'll just tell him, yes, I have some.
We have some moons for you.
So you have, but bring me a few more.
And he'll say that. Until you meet the threshold, he'll always say me, bring me a few more, and then I'll show you a better version. Then you can just say, I can keep looking. But you'll notice one of the options down there says, oh, can you tell me where to find them? It doesn't really do that much. It just tells you, hey, they're in Hogwarts, they're in Hogsmeade, and they're in the random hamlets. So how to find them? Obviously, I showed you hit back on the world map. So at Hogwarts, it now says I've collected 2 of 10. If we hover over to Hogsmeade and swap to that map, it'll say I've collected 8 of 9. I'm not sure where that last tricky bugger is hiding for me. But then if we go to the world map, this is where the hamlets are. And the hamlets are these little kind of cabin looking areas. You'll notice if I hover over Aaronshire, it says 1 of 1. I've collected it. Hover over this next one down here, Lower Hogsfield. 1 of 1. I've collected it. I've gone around the entire map that's unlocked, and I have grabbed all of them from the hamlets. But to find them, you just look for that barn. The exact same thing. As soon as you land, cast Revelio. Look, make it night. Cast Revelio, and then look for those kind of ovular-looking blue items. Most of them in the hamlets are behind locked doors, but not all of them. Same is true for Hogsmeade, most of them, but not all of them. So once you get the first Alohomora upgrade, you'll be able to get more, but you'll be able to find plenty just trolling around. So that is the Demiguise Statues. That is the unlocking, and that is how to capture beasts, the related equipment. Guys, I think that's kind of a lot that we covered today, and I know it was kind of a lot for a single video, but you're going to discover all of this stuff as well as you dig a little deeper. But I'm hoping that you at least found some of this useful and informative, so you know kind of what to do some of this stuff and kind of paths to take and how to do it. Same as ever, guys. I say it every time I jump back onto this game. We are just scratching the surface. It is a huge game with a ton to do, a ton to discover, and just when I think I've finished off something, they throw something else to add an entirely new layer to the experience. I'm absolutely loving it. I'm hoping you're enjoying your time too, and that these videos are proving valuable to make your time just a little bit simpler. Regardless, guys, I appreciate you checking in today. We will catch ya on the next one.